Hello, and thank you for watching this brief video designed to give you an example of what a parent-teacher conference would be like with your teacher at your school. Your Parent-Teacher Association, the PTA, the school teachers and administrators are always available to answer any questions you have. So let's get started. My name is Valerie Davis, and I have a fourth grade student at Pinecrest, and I will be playing the role of a parent or guardian in this video.
Hi, my name is Christina Parent, and I'm the school counselor at Pinecrest, and I'll be playing the part of a teacher at Pinecrest Elementary. Parent conferences are a great time for you to learn more about your student in the classroom, and it's also a time to strengthen the relationship between the teacher and the parent. It's very beneficial that all parents attend parent-teacher conferences every year. Elementary parents should receive notification of their parent conference in either the Thursday folder or in other means in November. If you have not received information about your parent-teacher conference, please contact your child's teacher. If you need additional conferences with other staff members, for example, the ESOL teacher or the special education teacher, please contact each teacher individually to set up a time to hold those conferences. If you need language translation services, please let the teacher know at least a week in advance for those services. Teachers are also able to share parent questionnaires with you before conferences, and this is a chance for you to include information about your student so that the teacher can know more about your student outside of the classroom. If you have not received a parent questionnaire, please contact the teacher, the classroom teacher, and it can also be found online on the PTA website. The conferences generally last about 15 minutes, and it's very important that we all are prepared for these conferences for this short amount of time. If you do need an additional conference, you can ask the teacher about that during that conference. So I've prepared myself with 5 simple steps so that we are prepared to have our parent-teacher conference. The first thing that I've done is I've reviewed the questionnaire that you've turned in as a parent to see how you and your child are doing outside of the classroom. Number 2, I reviewed and am prepared to share written documentation that shows how your child is doing in school, so written work products such as math and reading products. And 3, I set some preliminary reading and math goals that we'll review during the conference, and we can change as well with you and your child. 4, I anticipated some questions that you may have asked and allowed some time for that discussion. And 5, I am willing to apply any strategies that we discussed during our conference in our classroom.
I have also taken 5 important steps to prepare for this parent-teacher conference. 1, I wrote down the questions that my child and I have about how school is going, and I turned those in as part of the parent-teacher's questionnaire to the main classroom teacher. 2, I prepared to share any major events that are happening in our family life that may affect how my child is doing in school. 3, I brought paper and pen to take notes, and I will ask the teacher to repeat anything that is unclear to me. 4, if we have more to talk about than our time allows, I'm prepared with my calendar here to schedule additional time to talk with the teacher. And 5, I will share this discussion afterward with my child, including the math and the reading goals that we've set for the year, and I'm going to apply any strategies that the teacher and I agree on that we should try at home.
Okay, now we will act out our mock parent-teacher conference. Welcome, Ms. Davis. I'm so glad that we have a chance to meet to talk all about Lena.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. So I want to start by saying overall, Lena is doing a wonderful job. She's an amazing student. She's an amazing child. So thank you so much for sharing her with me this year. And she's really progressing with 4th grade work really well this year as well. So here are some examples of some of the work that she's been doing in reading and math.
Okay.
She's using appropriate vocabulary and impressive imagination when she's completing her assignments and her writing. And her reading grade level is on grade level. She's reading on a level Q right now, and headed towards a level R. Level Q is in 4th grade. It's a 4th grade level in the beginning of the year. Level R is about the 2nd quarter of 4th grade. So she's doing very well with her reading, and I would like to see her continue to do well in those areas. I would also like to see if she can improve her use of punctuation in her reading. If you take a look at this, also her punctuation in her writing as well, especially when it comes to dialogue. between two people in her books, summaries, or in other writing samples. So does she love to read and write at home?
She loves to read and write, and I
Mm-hmm.
have seen a little bit of a need for some help with that kind of thing. She likes to read a lot. She also loves to create her own stories. I would like to see her progress in reading, and I'm concerned, frankly, that she's reading a lot of graphic novels, which have words, but I'm not convinced that they're going to help her move forward. Is that good for her to be doing, or should she really be focused on chapter books?
Anything that she reads that's age appropriate is great to improve her reading, her
Mm-hmm.
fluency, and her enjoyment of reading. The goal is that she really does enjoy reading. She can check out any books that she wants to from the library, and we can work with the media specialist to let her know what her reading goals are. But again, it's all about the enjoyment of reading. And I can also work with Lena on trying to find a just right book for her so she knows what to look for herself.
Okay.
So in class reading books, when we have our small groups in our reading classes, those are instructional level for her. So those are on a Q or R level for her. But outside of that, she can generally choose a just right book for herself and really enjoy that time.
Okay. She'll be glad to hear that.
Yes, she will. So Lena also works very hard in math. She sometimes mixes up multiplication and division signs, and has some difficulty with that when it comes to word problems. So here's an example of something that she's worked on where she's done that. Have you seen something similar at home?
Yes, I have. I've noticed that she mixes them up too, but I really, frankly, I'm not very good at math myself. It's not my strong point. So my question is, what else should she be doing at school or outside of school to really reinforce understanding of multiplication versus division?
So there are a lot of different opportunities for her. We do have a math content specialist here at school that could work with her, but for this case, it doesn't seem like that would be necessary. We also have computer games that she plays in school. She really loves working on the computer in school. And they have a Chromebook as well that they are able to access apps and other games on. Um, so there are some different math websites that she's been working on, some multiplication and division activities that she could also work on at home if she would like to.
Okay. That sounds really good. She would like that, but we don't have a computer at home.
Okay. So I can talk to you some people about some resources that may be available for low-cost computers and internet access. There's also the local library that's also available that may also offer tutoring services and computer access. So I'll give you these websites to start with, and we'll continue our discussion about how she can access the computer.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I also want to show you her standardized test scores as well. So these are work samples that she did in class, but these are her test scores. Every year, students take the MAP M and MAP R. MAP stands for Measurements of Academic Progress. They take that test 3 times a year, and it just shows how they're reading. It shows their progress in reading from year to year and from time to time. So this is how she's done. This year. These scores are used in all schools across the county, so it's a way to compare how students are doing in reading. But we really just want to focus on Lena and how she's doing in reading and in math and her improvement in those areas.
When are these tests given? I want to make sure. It sounds like they're very important, and it looks like her trend is good. I just want to make sure she doesn't miss any. I don't schedule anything that's conflicting. So how will I know when it's coming up?
Absolutely. So again, they're given 3 times a year, one time in the fall, once in the winter, and once in the spring. The county gives us testing windows in which we can give these tests. And all of those are listed on this website. It's the Montgomery County Schools website. And you can find out exactly when those testing windows are. Is there a way that you would like information given to you, communicated with you?
I really like the weekly folder. I go through it completely, and that's really the best way to be in touch with me.
Okay. So I'll make a note of that. That will send information through the weekly folder. But most of the information can be found on the website.
Okay.
So what do you think about how she's doing in reading and math so far?
I think I'm pretty satisfied with this. I like to be able to see the trend that's going upward in her scores. How will I know where she should be by the end of the year?
So, on average, scores should increase about 5 to 6 points. We are really just looking for improvement. So, we don't want to compare too much. We really just want to see her progress. We really just want to see her improving in different areas. But about 5 or 6 points per year is what we could expect.
Okay. And this on this goal setting worksheet, it looks like she and the teacher and I should be agreeing on some goals. And you've put some preliminary goals, but how will she be engaged in this process?
So it is very appropriate for her to understand her goals so that she is able to reach them. If you think it's appropriate, I can sit down with her this week and go over those goals with her, and also see how she feels about them, to see if there's anything else she feels that she needs to do in order to reach her goals.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds really good.
Okay. So thank you so much again. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with me today?
I did want to share with you some things that are going on at home. In the last year, Lena and our family have really been going through it with some losses of family members. And although she doesn't show it, especially when she's at school, at times she's confused, at times she's sad. And I'm noticing that it's making her reluctant to make new friends. And so I just wanted you to know that that's going on with her.
I'm so sorry to hear about those losses. I'm so sorry to hear that she's going through that right now. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's very important information for us to know here at school because we have different ways of supporting her.
Okay.
In terms of making friends, one thing that we can think about doing is scheduling a lunch bunch with her and some friends to increase that friendship. And I can also mention this to the school counselor if you're interested in that as well.
Yes, that would be very helpful.
Okay.
That would be helpful.
Thank you so much for sharing that information.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Was there anything else that you wanted to share or any other questions that you had for me?
No, not right now. I'm pretty happy with what you've told me so far, and I'm looking forward to talking with Lena about it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming in today to talk about Lena. Again, if you have any questions or any other concerns, you can definitely contact me at any time, and we can discuss those together.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you.